Hi, Timothy. Hi.
Hi, Kate. How are you?
Good. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. Good.
Good, good. Well, thank you so much for taking some time for me. I sure appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me. I'm
Oh
thrilled to
no,
be here.
this is an absolute pleasure and honor to get to be visiting with you right now. Uh, I definitely plan to bring this up later in the interview, but growing up with my grandma, my granny, she watched Young and the Restless every day.
Oh,
So I grew up
oh,
anytime staying over there, she'd have to catch me up on the storyline on the days that I wasn't at her house. So,
oh, that makes my day. That makes
so
my
I
day.
grew up with you. It's like we already know each other, but
Oh, yay. I
it,
love that.
it's
I
great that I
love
finally get to talk and you talk back.
that.
So,
Yeah. No, that's
uh,
great, Tim. I think that's fabulous.
well, wonderful. Well, as I said, thank you so much for taking some time for me. I'm very excited to get to talk to you about this new film that you're in, A Little White Lie. I
Yeah.
got the chance to interview Michael earlier today, and man, he just as the director, and this only being his second feature film, he really assembled this fantastic cast, and it truly is just an amazing film, and I enjoyed it tremendously. I always find it interesting how actors kind of something that you were approached to appear in, or something you auditioned for. Or can you kind of tell me the story of how you got involved in this film?
Oh, well, I had done some other films for you know, it's producers, and so they
Yeah,
knew me. And so they thought this role might be fun and good. And I read the script and I really liked it. And I like, I mean, I played Esther, as you know, for
yeah.
40 years and counting. Um, and on and so it was great to be able, I wanted to do something that's this character's 360 from Esther, nothing like Esther. And so, I went, wow, I really want to do this. And then it was so amazing because, we started filming and everything. And then had one day left on the film and I was in the bank and I ran into some of the crew and they told me that they were going for coffee the next day. And what did I want? And I gave them my order. I never saw them again because then the pandemic and
Oh
everything
no.
shut down. And I thought, oh no, all this work. Everybody worked so hard in this film. Michael Maren, look how long it took him so long to get it. Get all
Yeah,
films take a long time. I mean, films take a long time anyway, and they're difficult. I mean, it's not an easy thing where you just go do a film. It's not
yeah.
that easy. And so I thought, oh no, what's going to happen? And we were so fortunate, not only that we were able to finish the film, but that everyone could come back and do it. I mean, that is a miracle in itself, if you ask me. So I think it was supposed to happen. And I'm so thrilled that I've been part of it because it's just been great. I've loved every minute of it. And I loved being here talking to you about it. It's just great.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful that we're getting the opportunity to talk about this film, and I was actually going to ask you about the pandemic, and the break there was so long, and like you said, normally when a break like that happens, if a film's not done, it just gets abandoned. It's just finished. So to be
Yeah.
able to get back and have the few days of extra production so many months later, uh, what was that like to kind of pick back up where you guys left off?
Well, I mean, everyone did it. I mean, it was just like, this is okay, we're back. It was like 3 years. Is that how long it was? I don't know. It hadn't happened. It was just like, okay, this is next. This is chapter two. It's part of chapter one, which we didn't finish. It's 1A. I don't know, but it was great that see, that's why everyone needs to go see this film because it's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be out. And so people can enjoy it. it makes you laugh, it makes you feel good, it makes you think. It just has all these elements. It's just great acting. I was so fortunate I was able to be in scenes with, with Kate Hudson and Michael Shannon and Don Johnson and all these wonderful, incredible people. I was able to work with them. And so it's just a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, and as I was talking to Michael, what I found amazing with this cast, there's a lot of well-known A-plus actors like yourself, and there's some newbies that I'm being introduced to, and I'm sure the rest of the audience are being introduced to for the very first time with this film. So it kind of provided this really great symmetry with the cast, very balanced, very well blended. So what was it like as a whole for you to be involved with this cast with some really big names, and then as well as some names that are out there learning and probably looking up to you and the other cast members for advice?
Well, I mean, I loved it. And I love, when I started on Young and the Restless, I was only hired for one day. So, and you never know, what if I'd said no? It was a really, really small role. So I loved meeting, everybody on this film, on this project, and hearing everyone's stories and how they got there. And it was just exciting to work. Everyone was fabulous in this. I mean, there wasn't one person that I would say, oh no, why are they in this? I mean, no. I mean, everybody was terrific. And so it's great. You never know until you see a completed project. I mean, you're always thinking, how's this going to fit, or how does this work, or what? And then you look and they go, wow, they took that take, or they did, that's what they said. I mean, you don't know what the camera's seeing, you're not behind the camera if you're working. So it's interesting what the camera sees, actually.
No, for sure, for sure. And you got a lot of like back and forth with Kate Hudson, which I thought was just fantastic between the two of you. Had you ever gotten to work or be around her before? Because your guys'
No.
chemistry, it clicked so well.
Oh, good. That makes me happy. I'm glad that worked out. I had not had the honor of working with her before, so I was so glad that I was able to on this, and she's great. So, it it was great. And I'm glad that you felt that, because then
Yeah.
that makes me very happy.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And like I said, I grew up watching you on Young and the Restless, and you telling me just now that you were only hired for the one day. That's breaking for me. That's the first time I ever heard that. So that's really
Oh,
cool.
no, I
That
had this. Well, listen, yeah, they offered me the okay. So the casting director said to me, okay, there's this role. It's so small, if you blink, you're gonna miss it. And he said, but
okay,
I'm looking for something else for you, because that usually doesn't happen. You do a
yeah,
small role like that's it. So I always thought, what if I had said no? Because most people would not have taken it, because it wasn't my first line was something that I had, my family never heard it. It was dinner is served. That was my first line. But so I've treated my whole career like this since then, because I'll take smaller roles if it's something, good and I want to do, or I like the project, or like the people. Because you just never know. And I
yeah,
just call it working the program. You keep going. But and the casting director at that time, said he used to do a lot of seminars, and he said, I would use you as an example, because most people would not have done. And what I wouldn't be here talking to you, Tim. That would be it. I wouldn't be here if I had said no. You know.
well, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You took that chance, and it turned out to be this, and it blossomed into this fantastic opportunity. For you, is there any challenge or anything? I mean, especially with the role being so small to start with, and then it's growing and expanding, and now you've played this character for 4 decades. Is there any challenge to kind of keeping that character fresh and not growing bored with it?
Well, it's always been a challenge. Of course, I'm very fortunate because we have brilliant writers, and now, they write the character. But in the beginning, I didn't have a name. I didn't have anything. And I thought, I've got to do something, because if I if I don't do something, I'm going to be gone. If I do
Yeah.
something and they don't like it, I'm going to be gone. So I thought, well, I'm just going to, so I started doing little things, and she became like the comic relief. And there was no comedy on soaps then. There, that just wasn't done. But I would do things like, okay, in the script, it said Esther goes out and gets some mail. So I went out, got this envelope, held it up, make sure no one's looking, look, in the light, look around, put it in my pocket, go in the house. It wasn't it. And of course, I never said anything about it. It wasn't in the script, so they never say anything about it. But whatever I would do it during blocking, which means we block it first so the cameras know where to go and everything.
Yeah.
And because I would never surprise them, I would do what I was going to do. But I decided to make her man crazy. So every time whoever came to the door, whether it was Victor Newman, the star of the show, or whoever, or the plumber, or whoever, well, I mean, Esther would just go, gaga, and made her, that, so she became, so that's how that kind of happens. I just kept trying to do things. And then Jeannie Cooper, who played my boss, Mrs. Chancellor, she started calling me Esther one day. It wasn't in the script. And fortunately I answered, I responded, then we had a national contest for the last name. So it was just, it's been incredible. And then, and it's led to so many things. I mean, it's led me to doing A Little White Lie. It's led me to being here with you. It's led me to be able to give back. I'm celebrity spokesperson for the ALS Association and work with Golden West chapter and March of Dimes Canada. I do teas for them. And we've got one coming up June 4th in Toronto. And, I'm just so very, very honored to be part of it.
No, your career is just, it's so fantastic. And getting to hear it from you yourself, getting to hear the journey that you've had and how humble you are about it and how respectful you are to the process. It's just so refreshing and delightful to actually get to hear that coming straight from you. So thank you for sharing that. That means a lot. Uh,
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Now, looking throughout your career, you've done a mixture of television as well as movies. Do you have a particular medium that you prefer, or one that you enjoy doing more than one or the
Well,
other?
they're all different. And I started in theater. I started on stage. I did a play, not well, it was before the pandemic, so it's a few years ago. But
Yeah,
they're all different. I like doing all of them. I like playing, different characters and working hard. I still go to class, still go to acting class and my dance lessons and voice lessons, and because it's called show business for a reason. It's a business. It's a business of show. You've got to treat it like that. And I love working, and I love bringing these different characters to life and being allowed to do so and making people happy and if they come up and they go, oh, I loved it when Esther did this, or you made me laugh, or, if it can make people smile or feel good. It's like I have these, I started this when the pandemic started. I do these Sunday messages.
yeah,
So like this Sunday will be number 154 weeks I've been doing it. I keep them like a minute. That's how long I know. That's how I know how long we've been doing this pandemic
yeah,
thing. It's been 154 weeks. And people's comments on that, they thank me, thank you for, making me laugh, or then making me smile, or
yeah.
reminding me. It's just, and if it wasn't for them, it wasn't for Young and the Restless, I wouldn't be able to do that. I couldn't talk to you today, and that I couldn't do any of this. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, do you have any upcoming projects or anything that you might be able to offer us a little tease of what you got planned coming up?
well, I mean, the show, because we're doing the 50th anniversary, and people shouldn't miss it, because they're bringing back characters that you haven't seen in years and years. And Michael Damian, who played Danny, he's back, and Veronica Red, who played Mamie, and you've got Nina, Trisha Cast, and you've got you've got Patty played Gina. You've got all kinds of great people coming back. So, and they'll be on in the next, few weeks. And so you don't want to miss it. I mean, they've really pulled out all the stops. It's just shot a couple things for it. It's beautiful, beautiful show. Yeah.
No,
And just
that's
like
super
that's
exciting.
why too with the little white lies, I don't want people to miss that either, because it's a great film, and it's fun, it's different, it's got these little twists that makes you laugh too and feel good and go, what? What that happened, and that kind of thing. So that's fun as well.
Excellent, excellent. And then A Little White Lie, it's going to be out March 3rd. So definitely people are not going to want to miss out on that. I definitely want to give people the opportunity to connect with you. You mentioned your Facebook. Is that the best way for
Well, if you
fans
go
to
on,
follow and keep up with
if you
what
go
you're
on
doing?
katelinder.com, my website, it's all right there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you just click and follow it. It's all right there. And it's good. I'm celebrity spokesperson for ALS Association and Golden West chapter. And I've got a tea coming up in Canada where we bring, Young the Restless people. That's coming June 4th. So that's another thing that's coming up in Toronto. A lot of people from the show will be going. And so that's good as well. It's always something happening and going on, which is great.
You're never bored, are you?
No,
There's no.
see, because I think you never know what's going to happen. That's why, it's challenging. Playing Esther is challenging too, because it's just like real life. You don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen when you wake up. You thought you did, like you said, okay, you woke up this morning, okay, I've got to be ready for this interview. I've got to interview Kate at this time. I got to do this. But you really don't know
No.
what's going to transpire that day. And that's how the show is for me. I never know what my character's going to do. I get the script and go, oh no, you're going, really? And so it's always exciting for me and to keep her fresh, and I'm just honored to be part of it. It's just like when we did A Little White Lies, we did the whole, we did all that filming before, and then we came back, whatever it was, 3 years later, when we were, and it was like fresh. It was like, oh my gosh, what are we, people were all together again and back
Yeah.
together and making this film happen and come to be. And so I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited it's out and that people are going to be able to see it.
No, it's absolutely a wonderful film. I enjoyed it tremendously. The entire cast is wonderful. Anybody listening or watching, hopefully they'll definitely make their ways to the theaters or VOD to check it out. Kate, thank you so much for taking time for me today. This has just been an absolute honor and a pleasure to get to visit with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, I loved it. Anytime, just ask, I'll be there. So
All
thank you.
right, I'll make sure to do
Okay.
that. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much.